Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's I'm going to be reviewing a 2024 Ram 1500 Laramie. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Doug Smith Dodge Ram here in American Fork. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 5.7-liter Hemi V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 22 on the highway, and that is made possible by the e-torque system. Power outputs are 395 horsepower and then 410 pound-feet of torque. The e-torque adds another 130 pound-feet off the line. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, love the silver coloration. Notice how normal Ram fashion, it just raises up towards the center. And then you got your 1500 e-torque badge on the side. And yeah, LED lights, they're not standard on the Laramie anymore. So you've got the halogen lights as standard. And you guys can see the chrome here on the grille in normal Laramie fashion. And then we also have chrome on the bumper. And putting it all together, let me know your thoughts on the lighting situation here with the 24 Laramie. Come around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 275, 55, 20 in the front and over in the rear. And you guys can see here with the wheels, you got the chrome mixed with the metallic gray, which I think looks really sharp. And something else that's changed, we don't have fender flares anymore on the Laramie, which is interesting. Got your Ram logo there, chrome on the mirrors, and then notice with the door handles, those are body painted. And then here's your full side view with the Laramie. And I will say those wheels, they pop. Now taking a look at the key fob, you guys can see we've got our unlock and lock function, remote start, and then the Ram logo there on the back. And popping to said back, you guys can see the tailgate is dampened, and we've got tons of space here in the bed. As you can see, this is the 5'7" bed. No bed line or anything like that, but you can add that in if you want. And then with the tailgate itself, super light. And then you guys can see all the badges here on the back end. And oddly enough, we do have LED taillights, so no LED headlights, but you still get LED taillights. That's kind of strange, I guess. Anyways, chrome with the bumper and with the exhaust tips. And putting it all together, let me know your thoughts on the exterior of the 24 Laramie. Now popping inside, you guys can see soft touch here at the top with the stitching, and then down below, and then also where you rest your arm, and then still have the suede here, and then the darker trim right there at the top. And then you can see this theme continue onto the seats. Notice perforated all down the center portion. Got some piping and stitching as well. And then you do have a flat loading floor underneath the seats. And of course, we don't have ice buckets anymore. What the heck? But at least legroom back here is still really solid. You guys can see we've got a little storage pocket. We also have some vents in the back, USBs as well. We've got a full outlet and have a cup holder armrest. The rear glass is also fixed. Interesting. Anyways, headroom, it's good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see the stitching and padding there at the top and down below, and then look at the suede here and then the darker trim. We've got our memory seat function, all of our window controls here, front two are automatic. We've got this to fold in the mirrors. Just a quick look at the mirrors themselves. Oh, and while we're over here, payload capacity is 1,636 pounds. And then you can see here at the front seat, Laramie, perforated all down the center portion, power adjustments here on the side. Got our light control action right here, parking brake as well. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see soft touch all around. We do have radio controls in the back. We've got stuff like our cruise control, gear limiter, controls for center stack, voice command, phone controls as well, and then your regular stock there on the back. Now taking a look at the gauge cluster, you guys can see we've got the half analog, half digital gauge cluster here, and you can scroll through menus here in the center to see different bits of info on the truck. Pretty standard stuff the Laramie's had for a little bit of time. And then in reverse, we've got the backup camera here with the trajectory lines. You can also zoom in there with the receiver hitch. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time's pretty good. You've got the shortcut bar there at the bottom. Notice we've got heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, dual zone climate. So at least we still have that with the Laramie. But yeah, overall, easy enough to use. And then you guys can see we've got analog controls here for the radio. You've got the analog controls for that climate system and the heated and ventilated seats and all of that. We of course have our tow haul mode, stability control, and then we've got our dial shifter here. Notice we don't have 4-wheel auto, but we do have 4-wheel high and 4-wheel low. Auto stop start, and then we got some USB action down below. And then this one has a bench seat, so if I press this properly, there we go. We've got some storage space here on the front. And speaking of said bench seat, we have storage on top of that. Got a little cup holder action there, and then it does fold up to be a seat. And then underneath, we've got even more storage as well. So lots of Fun stuff happening in the center. Still have some nice soft touch here on the dash, Alpine sound system, and then you got this trim right here. And then we got the double glove box situation, says Laramie right there. And then no controls up top because no power sliding window or anything like that. So there's quite a bit of glare, but base MSRP $56,985, and we've got some options like the Hemi, which is $3,000, destination charge $2,000, so $5,000 in engine and destination charge. Anyways, $64,320 is the total MSRP on this Laramie. Let's see how it drives. Now, before we move on to the next feature, we need to talk about today's video sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. Now, believe it or not, the modern world is actually a pretty treacherous place. Every single time you go out for a drive, there's a chance that you could get into an accident. You could be walking in front of a business, they could have something on the ground, and you could slip and fall and hurt yourself. And on top of that, you could just be doing your job, right? Like you always do, and something could happen and you could sustain a major injury. This is a topic that's very important to me personally because I drive about 40,000 miles per year for the channel. And so there are a lot of situations that I'm put in on a day-to-day basis where accidents almost happen. Now, knock on wood, nothing's happened for years, but there's always the chance that something could happen. And this is where Morgan & Morgan comes into play. They are America's largest injury law firm with over 100 offices, over 800 lawyers, and over 4,000 case staff that are all ready to help you out. And one of the best parts about working with Morgan & Morgan is that things like the negotiations, the court hearings, and the research associated with putting together a case are all free unless you win. And so if you're involved in some kind of personal accident, whether it be a car accident, a slip and fall accident, or an accident at the workplace, then you might want to get help from Morgan & Morgan. And on a little bit of a side note, don't feel bad about hiring an attorney. Remember that you're suing the insurance company that is worth billions upon billions of dollars. They can more than pay for the compensation that you deserve. So if you are injured in an accident, then you can check out Morgan & Morgan at www.forthepeople.com/Ben Hardy, or you can give them a call at #529, that is pound law. Again, www.forthepeople.com/Ben Hardy or pound law. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, throughout the rest of the rear. And, well, let us set off in our halogen light Laramie, but at least we still have our cooled seat. It's actually 57 degrees outside. Yes, I am the person that puts on my cooled seat when it's 57 degrees outside. Don't at me. Anyways, you know, first off, in normal Laramie fashion, still, you know, comfortable. The seats are comfortable. Suspension so far, I mean, this isn't real driving yet. We're in a parking lot, but suspension so far feels pretty good. Woo! Yeah, going through the little dip is fine. Good torque out of the Hemi as well. Finally getting up and moving here with the Laramie. And again, loving this e-torque Hemi. Feels really powerful right off the bat. The truck's quiet too. That's something that I've noticed. Lots of insulation. I will say I kind of miss, I know that this looks a little bit more uniform with the interior color, but I kind of miss the wood trim in terms of the feel that provides versus this black trim. This used to be in the, it's probably still in the Bighorns, but this used to be in the Bighorns. So it seems like that's kind of a carryover with it. But yeah, I mean, this, you know, still feel like, at least inside, outside of that black trim, it still feels like what the Laramie's felt like since 2019, which I don't think is a bad thing because it's a kind of more of an upscale interior feel and everything. And something I do want to mention is this trim, although not as nice as the leather you get in the Limited, holds up a lot better over time, at least what I've noticed. I've just noticed that with lots of cars, so it's kind of a big plus with the Laramie having that trim. Yeah, good power so far, but we'll get a real acceleration here, I guess, in a moment. Well, I'm not sure why these people are stopping. There's no light. They're just, I guess they're just, yeah, interesting. They don't know what to do. Too many people at once, I guess. They're like, confusion, mass confusion. I promise we'll get an acceleration eventually in the next century. or so. But I guess I can tell you the truck coasts very well. It does a good job with coasting, so that's definitely a big plus. Okay, this is enough room. V8 power, yeah. It's good. It's good. It moves. I think it's job well done with this. Job well done. So yeah, I mean, a little bit of a weird drive, but just lots of lights and everything. Summing things up here at the Laramie, this is just my personal opinion as someone who, you know, sold Rams for a while and has, you know, reviewed cars for a few years. Like, Ram, what are you doing? Why? I don't understand. Like, cars are supposed to get more feature loaded as time goes on, and the Laramie has done the exact opposite. Because when this first came out, it had fender flares, power sliding window, it had LED lights, all that nice stuff, and now it's options on it. And, you know, I could understand if they were taking that stuff away and lowering the price in the truck, but like $64,000, that's what a 2019 Limited would sticker for back in the day. I remember because I sold them. So like, Ram has basically increased the price in this truck and decreased the amount of options. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on the Laramie. Let me know your thoughts on the situation, but I think that this is a little bit of a misstep on this particular package. I think that this should come standard with all the stuff it's come standard with, as always, at this price point. But anyways, let me know your opinion.